Okay, this video I'm going to show you how to add the last thing that you want to add to your project. In this situation, it's going to be the name triangle. I put the word community on here instead of my name. And first, community first is the idea. And then texture is what you see here, the dots in the background, the half circles here, the lines there, the circles, the different lines, things that end up making the project more interesting to look at. Gives it the option of holding color in different ways when you glaze it. But before that, it makes it more interesting. So the first thing you want to do is gather things from the classroom or bring things that you can experiment with and try and see how they look. So have a piece of clay that's the similar softness as your project, and then try it out and see how it looks. So this is the back end of the plastic knife, and when you repeat it, it makes a pattern, and that's what I'm looking at. This part of the knife, it doesn't do much. I thought it was gonna make dots, but doesn't do much for me there. So, broken pen. This makes a round dent, but also has the words that are printed on the end of the pen there. Dots, circles, with a dot in the middle. This is the open end of the pen here. Looks like that. Larger end. And you can overlap these, make a different type of a pattern. This is just experimenting to see what you like and see what you want to use. And you can do things in combination. So this is taking the back end of the chopstick and repeating it, the front end of the chopstick, the dot, and put that in the center. So putting them together like that, on its own, just dots. Good to fill a background space when you put a whole bunch of the dots together, or anything really. Flathead screwdriver. You'll notice I wiggle it to get it to make a nice clean pattern. You can overlap them, make X's. Like that. So experimenting first to see what you have and see what you can use. And then you take what you've learned from your experiment, decide what you want, and then you can put it onto here. So you can see how I did that with this. And now I'm going to do the same thing here. Starting off with this, just a repeated pattern. I'm going to take it and go along the inside of the C, making sure to put my finger behind it so I don't just poke through or break it, especially when I get here where the C hangs off the edge. Your clay has to be soft enough to do this, otherwise it'll crack. Again, another reason to keep managing your clay and keeping it moisturized. So I just took the screwdriver and made that pattern going around there. I think around the outside, I'll do this. It's kind of like an exclamation point. Taking my time, making sure to put pressure behind it. And there. I'm going to continue to work all the way across. I can use a theme, a pattern, and repeat it, or I can mix it up, or both. You have to be really careful, for this O is not really held down by anything. I have to be able to get behind there and hold it so that I don't break it. I can't put my finger back there, but I can put this chopstick back there to hold it. In the center of the O, that's the C that's back there. I was thinking I was going to put something there, but I'm going to leave it. Leave that alone. So here's the M. There's two M's. There's one back here. And I'm probably going to do this so you can see that M back there better, and put this one here. So now you can see that that's back there better. And do the same thing with this one. Kind of like stitching. So you've got a lot of the same pattern going across here. So I have some consistency happening. Here's the U in community. Change it up a little bit. There's that. A little wider. That one there. This is the bottom of the I, and the dot is above it, under the T. But I want to make sure to see where the I dot is. Well, pretty much just you have to be really careful with this one. It's not a whole lot of it's on there. I think I'm just going to put dots right down the center. Use a pencil, it's pointier. You could even use a pen, it'd probably be even better. Use the pen. Give me a little deeper hole. Really careful not to break this. Especially if your clay is starting to dry out, you may need to soften it up a little bit. Make sure that you can still get texture in it and it won't break, crack. I think I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing since they look so similar. This is really dry up here. gonna let that soak in for a little bit. Okay, so now I've got texture on the letters. You can also fill the background with texture and leave the letters clean. So I think that's what I'm gonna do with this side. That side I put texture on the letters. This side I'm gonna put texture on the background only, and leave the letters clean. Similar to what I did here. Kind of like X's, but kind of an idea of being stars. A starry night. Be careful on the edge, you can break it. There you go.